I kind of want to know more about your work day that you just told me.
Oh. Yeah, I got locked out today.
By Lloyd. Lloyd, let me in, buddy.
Babysitting Lloyd is my job.
You watch after Lloyd, honey, while I go see this Christmas movie.
I'll tell you more about it later. It was interesting.
So, all right, we got out of Knives Out, but first, since I get a lot of these, like, limited edition cups, buckets, things like that they do at the movie theaters, I wanted to start doing those as like a contest giveaway, and we mentioned this in the last Christmas video as well, but we've got this limited edition popcorn bucket of Frozen 2 that Laura and I signed. You can see us signing these and talking about it at the beginning of the last Christmas episode, which is kind of funny because I think I'm gonna air this one first. So like, wait a minute, this is out of order. It wasn't signed in the other one. So you have me on there, Frozen 2, the mold never bothered me anyway, and then Laura Jones, cross off to 2.
I still
along with the bucket with the drink with the snow globe topper on it.
Not that
as well.
I think anyone really wants my signature, but yeah, and Brad was like, just do it. I was like, fine.
Just do it.
I still instinctively sign as Laura Luke, though.
Yeah.
It's just hard to change your signature.
Memories.
No.
When I wasn't with this asshole.
No, I mean, it's just like instinct. Wouldn't it be hard for you to sign as like Brad Luke or something?
No, anymore. I typically sign my stuff as just
Scribbles.
C snub.
You don't.
You're right. I don't. I don't actually do that.
You don't, right?
No, not even. Well, I guess if I'm trying to come up with a way to be a smart ass. So, we've also got a DVD copy of Disco that we'll also autograph. We didn't use our other pen because it's like, oh, we need the gold one for this because it's got kind of a dark cover. So if you go to patreon.com/thecinemasnob, and we'll have a link in the description, a pinned link down in the comments as well. If you go there on the particular entry that's talking about this, and in the comments, you write down your own very pun-heavy review of Frozen 2, like Gene Shalit style, like puns galore and everything. We'll look at the likes and everything and deem which one that we think is the funniest, and you get this you'll get this autographed popcorn bucket, little snow globe topper, Frozen 2 cup, and an autographed copy of Disco as well. So click on the link to check that out. So while the review for Last Christmas was very spoiler heavy, I ain't gonna spoil shit on this one.
No, this one's really hard to talk about without spoiling it.
Well, there is a murder.
Yeah, well, we can cover the basics, but you can get that from the trailer.
You were taking notes during this, which made me very nervous. You are not giving me injections anymore. And so, if you've seen the trailer, then you know what this is. This very rich family has gathered together because Christopher Plummer, this crime novelist, has possibly committed suicide, and maybe not. You're right, this is a hard movie to talk about if you're not getting into spoilers, because I don't want to spoil anything on this movie.
I guess we can talk about performances, because basically everything you need to know about the plot is in the trailer. It's like, okay, it's a whodunit thing.
With Detective Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Sometimes I felt like in the beginning of his performance, he's doing a southern accent, but I felt a little bit of an English accent sometimes. Did you
like
feel
his
that?
own accent was coming through?
I didn't
in the
really... beginning of it, I felt, maybe because I was looking for it, or maybe that's just what I instinctively hear. Like, I'm like, okay, he has an English accent, but I kind of felt that in the beginning, but it probably was just me, but...
Yeah, no, I didn't really notice anything like that necessarily. I was thinking like he was very, very Kevin Spacey in this movie, I thought.
Well, I haven't seen House of Cards, if that's what you're comparing it to, because I know that guy, the character he's playing,
Frank Underwood.
he's like a southern.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it was kind of, but I do mean that in a good way, because I thought Daniel Craig was great in this movie.
Yeah.
And Daniel Craig is versatile as hell. Like, I mean, he's mainly known for playing James Bond, and he's great as James Bond, but when he acts outside of that, he's one of those actors that really does relish in taking on different kinds of roles with different kinds of accents outside of the action performances
I haven't seen that many.
he gives.
I haven't seen that many Daniel Craig movies. I haven't seen Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Or James Bond, or what are some other ones?
Layer Cake. He's great in that. He's great in Munich and Logan Lucky. He's a very versatile actor.
Yeah, maybe this might be the first one I've seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those great, like, movie detectives in this movie,
Very
where
Sherlock Holmesy.
and Columbo, like, because he's one of those
And one more
detectives.
thing.
Yeah, he's one of those detectives. He's like this Southern fried Columbo kind of in the movie, where he's one of those guys that's kind of going through the movie, making you think that he's thinking one thing, and maybe coming across a little bumbly a bit, like he's trying to give the appearance that. He's trying to give the appearance to all these people that he's maybe thinking and suspecting one thing, but in his head, he's sort of getting a read on these people right from the very beginning of meeting them.
The Southern accent might be a little misleading, I guess, because
Sort of like Southern attorney, but Southern detective instead. I'm just a small-time country lawyer.
oh yeah, the Columbo comparison, yeah, totally, because he's very
Yeah.
like kind of fly on the wall a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, not fly on the wall, maybe. That's
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, just kind of in the background and kind of annoying because he just pressed the key.
And just sort of listening to these people, seeing how they react, seeing how they're going to try to turn on one another, to try to see
just like this family dynamic.
how far they'll go about lying to either cover themselves or to try to blame someone else for someone else's bullshit. Really just spending like the first part of the movie getting a huge read on these people, and this is also the first time that the audience is seeing them as well, so we are kind of, along with the detective in this scene, really sort of getting a read on these different family members and the different levels of betrayal that they might go through with one another, because they each have reasons for lying to another person. They each have motives for possibly murdering this guy.
Speaking of versatile, Toni Collette is always versatile.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
the family plays off of each other great, and they're all messed up in their own ways. Like Toni Collette's screwed up in a different way than say Jamie Lee Curtis or Don Johnson or Michael Shannon, who steals a lot of scenes in the movie just by screaming out a line randomly.
Yeah, just being Michael Shannon.
Yeah. So really, they have good chemistry with each other. It's almost like watching one of those movies you usually get this time of year about dysfunctional families during Christmas. Only this is far better written and made than something like Love the Coopers.
I'm not from a yuppie family, but the fighting in this family is like very like, oh wow, that takes me back to my Christmas days with my family.
Sure.
Arguing and
Yeah, and there's like the one like younger kid in the corner who's just messed up and just like trolling online and things like that.
Well, when I was a kid, like trolling and internet stuff, I mean, it was still kind of common, but not as common as it is now.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's little funny asides like that in the movie where you kind of for characters that aren't in the movie very much, the movie does a good job with exposition, dialogue, and even a couple of lines that they might have to really kind of get a feel for what this character is, despite like maybe a limited amount of screen time with some of them. And what I really like about the film is how it spends a lot of time really leading you in one direction. And when I went into this movie, like a lot of murder mysteries like this, you kind of think like, okay, well, I mean, how are they going to try to fool you with this? Like, if it's any of these people it's not like it'll be surprising. It's like it'll end and be like, okay, so it was that guy, or or okay, so it was this person, or whoever. With this, really early on in the movie, something pretty big happens, and it even kind of shows you what happens as well, where it really puts you on a different path, where you're wondering, like, as the movie is going along with this storyline, for about 80% of it, like, I was captivated by it. I was like, I wonder how this is gonna end. I wonder if what they're showing me is really kind of the crux of it. Either or, it would have been great, because I mean, it makes the movie very unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
I was with it. I really was. I honestly love this movie.
No, I saw that the length was 2 hours and 10 minutes. I was never bored during this movie. I was entertained throughout the whole thing, which says a lot for me, at least. There are like 2 twists in the movie. The first twist happens like within 45 an hour into the movie. Mm-hmm. And I checked my phone. I was like, is it almost about to end then? Oh, it's not. Okay. And then it keeps going. And I was like, not that I was bored. I was just curious. I was like, oh, so we know what happened. But then it keeps going. And then there's another twist that happens like in the third act. Yeah. But yeah, it's really... Yeah, I was entertained.
Yeah. And again, like, throughout, like, humorous moments with this family where they're kind of ribbing each other, or when they're just drunk and giving each other shit, or when something serious happens and they're all turning on each other like vipers. It's great stuff to watch.
It gets kind of political, too.
Yeah, in a much better way than, like, Last Christmas did.
Well, there's, like... They're different kind of the whole family are yuppies. There's like the yuppie that's like kind of more of like the liberal kind of yuppie that has their own like a Gwyneth Paltrow kind of yuppie. You know what I mean? Like,
what character are you talking about?
Toni Collette.
Oh, okay.
Where she has like her own like skincare thing.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
And then there's like the red cap kind of yuppie, or
less yuppie really, and more just like they're different examples of wealth, really.
Okay, maybe not yuppie, but
of wealth and entitlement. Like, they all kind of are different stereotypes of that, whether it's Toni Collette, again, with her very kind of vapid lifestyle, or the kid who's like a racist and is trolling online and things like that, or just the young hothead like Chris Evans' character in the film. So they all kind of represent sort of different stereotypes of bad wealth, while again you have kind of the main character of the movie, who's the housekeeper in the film.
She's an immigrant. Her mom's, I guess, undocumented? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, they use that against her quite a bit in this movie.
Uh-huh.
That they're like, okay, you better, like,
Yeah, because it isn't just the family trying to kind of turn on each other. They are other people as well.
They use that as a threat to get her mom deported.
Yeah. So they're all kind of turning on... It's a fun thing to watch. It is kind of a modern Clue, and it made me want to see more movies with the Daniel Craig character. Like, he was
like a crime solving series, like
not like a TV procedural, but like
like Columbo or something.
Yeah, it's like a movie series or something like that. Like, I could see that working. I could see, like, because he's fantastic in this. He's entertaining as hell. He's so good, and he's funny, and he really makes this character his own. And this being, like, the start of, like, a series of movies, like, with this character of his, I could see, like, totally working.
Yeah, I could see that.
I would love to see that. And of the Rian Johnson movies that I've seen, this I thought was his best movie.
Yeah, I've only seen The Last Jedi of his,
Did you see Looper? Or
no.
Brick? Brick's really good. I liked Looper. Last Jedi's fine. This one, I hope to God I see, like, severe anger at this movie where it's like, Rian Johnson has ruined murder mysteries! Like, okay.
Spit on me.
He spit on me!
No,
Did he?
you did.
Yes, I know.
Oh, I thought you thought.
You thought I was saying that Rian Johnson spit on me? Well, I did see Rian Johnson like a month ago, so maybe he spit on me. Oh, that's another thing, too. This movie makes me hate A Hidden Life even more. So, Doug and I talked about this in our review for Terrence Malick's The Hidden Life, because I saw that movie like a month ago at the Chicago Film Festival, and the reason why I saw it was, at the time, it was the only advanced screening that night, until at the last minute they added like a showing of Knives Out hosted by Rian Johnson and Michael Shannon. I went there and sent you a text going like, so this event's a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be, and I sent you a picture and went, that's Michael Shannon. You wrote back, what? No, you called me and went, what?
I would have said hi to him.
Hey, you got a phone call.
No, I want to make him say hi to me on the phone. FaceTime him.
Wish her a happy birthday.
She's dying.
And also, she's dying.
Of a cough,
So-
apparently.
My buddy Matt was there. Matt Fagerholm. He was there, and he was like, he's like, oh, you're lucky you're at the Malick screening. I'm like, you want to trade? So he's at the big Knives Out event while my dumbass is sitting in the 3-hour Terrence Malick frolicking movie.
So, I would recommend seeing this in theaters.
No, I loved it. I loved this movie. I thought it was funny. I thought it was very, very entertaining. It was unpredictable. Like, from the very beginning of it, it is. Like, even if you go into this movie, seeing the trailer, it's not going to prepare you for some directions that this movie goes. I had a great time.
There were some parts where I was like, okay, I think that was something that I'm catching on.
Sure.
And then there was one other thing, and I'll talk about it later with you. But but that's about it. There was only a couple things during the movie. I mean, not that it ruined it. I was just like, okay, I think that might be something that
I would have ideas in my head, certainly, but I mean, where it ends, I couldn't say that I guessed where this movie was going to end up. It wasn't like Last Christmas, where it's kind of easy to figure stuff out 5 minutes into the movie.
No, I highly recommend it, especially since it's a PG-13. It does say the F word twice, which I thought you could only say the F word once.
This was a PG-13?
I think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, you don't have your phone.
Oh, oops. Oh, well, whatever.
I thought so, because when I checked, I was like, oh, I hope my mom doesn't make me see this with her over Thanksgiving, because
yeah.
I just saw it.
Well, when we got together the one Thanksgiving, we went to go see Murder on the Orient Express. So this is kind
But I didn't see it. You saw it.
This is kind of par for the course to go see a murder mystery. It's it is. Oh, what do you know?
Yeah. So I was
You owe
like,
me $5.
What's mine is yours, honey.
All right, fine. I guess she's the winner.
I thought you could say the F word only once.
You can, but because no, I just kind of thought it was an R. Yeah, I don't mean because they said fuck in it, because a PG-13 movie can do that. Yeah. With some other stuff that happened in the movie, I kind of wondered if it was an R.
Yeah. But yeah, I would recommend it. Totally.
Yeah, I recommend seeing this.
For seeing with your family, like, you know, it's not too, like...
It's one of the best things playing right now.
Yeah. No, see Last Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Go see that movie. Because, again, I forgot that, like, I'm not airing these on the same day, so watch our review of Last Christmas, which we've already recorded, but we'll be posting up tomorrow. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Bye.